What is going on, guys? Rajiknight coming at you once again with some more Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited for the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, I was not able to record this entire quest. I thought I had it all on there, but I'm still towards the beginning on this. The beginning part of it, after you get to the shrine, you just go talk to a lady, then you have to watch a couple of little flashbacks, and then destroy a couple statues, and then you move on into this area, where you have to just all you have to do is kill 10 of these worm assassins. It's not too difficult, but they are level 38, and during this quest I am a level 18, so I'm at a significant disadvantage. The only thing I really have going for me during this quest is that I have health enchantments on all of my armor, and I have 2 rings and a necklace that also give me a boost to my health. So it does help me with my combat a little, but as you'll see in this video, I do end up dying one time. I can't remember how many of the guards I had taken out beforehand, but the one good thing about this quest is the spacing of each of these worm assassins. If you do it the right way, if you watch where you're moving and you move in, get their attention, and pull them back a little bit, you can keep all of these fights as a one-on-one fight, so you're not going to get overwhelmed so long as you're cautious. Another good strategy would be to take a bow in, or some other kind of ranged weapon so you can do some damage. If you're past level, I believe it's 15, that you unlock the ability to have a backup weapon. Probably the best case scenario is put a backup weapon as your bow or your ranged, and start with that. Attack them to get their attention, takes down some of their health, and then when they come at you, you go ahead and activate your primary weapon so that you can go ahead and deal some serious damage. Because you can see with each swipe of my sword, I'm not really doing any damage. But especially here, these first few guys that I take out, I take it nice and slow. And right there you see the Drain Essence, which does heal you, and it does a significant amount of damage, especially when you're a low level. It's very useful. But you can see I'm starting to get into a little bit of trouble. There's the Mist Form ability right there, which does not make you invulnerable or invisible, but it does give you a good defensive buff. But just taking it slow, taking my time with it, and really that's all you have to do. As long as you take it slow, you can typically do okay, and this is actually the guy that managed to kill me. All you do whenever you die is you load back in, and this is the main room for the shrine. This little pool right here that I'm walking through, this is where the actual ritual takes place. But after you talk to her and you do her little thing, you just come over here to the tunnels. And this is how it starts off. This is actually the beginning of the little dungeon. And all these people will have respawned. If not this, I don't think they've respawned yet. I think it's the second time I enter that they've all respawned. But all you do is you come in and you just drop down into this pool and swim on over to the side, and there's a guy that's going to be hiding right there, or standing right there, that you'll have to kill. And then there's a guy at the top of the stairs that I just passed, and then there's this guy right here. So it's really not too bad. Actually, the level of these guys is why I recommend being at least a level 16. I was level 18, you see. They're still doing a lot of damage to me with each swipe that I don't block. But I go ahead and block each one of his strikes. They do occasionally get a strike in on me, but really I'm just keeping pace with him at this point. Without using any of my vampire abilities or anything that I do have, I'm just barely managing to hang on. Another thing that I recommend is when you get to about half health, and I didn't do it with this guy and I really should have, when you get to about half health, go ahead and use your Drain Essence ability, because it will make things a lot easier. But you can see I managed to take him out with relative ease. He did give me some problems. And then, of course, I'm sitting there looking around, talking to some of my friends, because they were interested to know how I was doing on this quest, because I was such a low level for it. You know, taking on level 38 as a level 18, that's not easy. That's a 20 level difference, which in ESO is a huge gap in power. But I'm going to go ahead and let this mission play through so you guys can see There's actually a few guys in this area. There's one that's going to go over by the campfire to the right there. There's this one, and then actually behind me there's another person. But as you can see, just the positioning, I just come in and fight in this one spot. I don't move around too much. I don't draw too much attention. And it just keeps it as a one-on-one, because if I was trying to take on two of them, I would definitely not be able to make it. But I wanted to go ahead and take this opportunity while this mission plays out to go over some of the other things about vampirism that I didn't cover in my vampirism guide. Just some things I'd forgotten to mention, some things that I've found since then, because I have leveled up quite a bit, at least character levels. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, how you level vampirism and how that works out for you. Right here I prove that Mist Form is not a good sneaking ability. It doesn't actually make you invisible, because you can see he turns around on me before I even get in striking distance. He knows I'm there. But the detriment to fire, you take 40% extra fire damage. So if they're going to deal 100 damage, they're actually going to deal 140 to you. That is nothing at low levels. You will barely even notice this, especially if you add some extra health enchantments to yourself, or carry some armor that already has enchantments, carry some health potions or anything like that. You're not really going to notice that fire effect too much. But once you get to the higher levels, that is where it gets serious, because they're dealing more damage than they were previously. And of course, percentage, meaning they're not just gaining 40, they're actually gaining 40%. So although they only gain 40 if they're doing 100% or 100 damage, if they're doing 1,000 damage, now they're gaining 400 damage. So it is definitely something that you have to be aware of. You have to watch your enemies. Pay attention. If they have a staff and it's got fire on it, be aware. Make sure that you have some health potions. Make sure you have your ultimate charged. Whether you're using the vampire's ultimate, which you will get to see in this video, or whether or not you're using a different ultimate. Just be prepared. And always try to make sure that you get a decent drop on your opponents, especially if they are fire wielders. But other than that, the only other thing that you will really hold you back, and this is probably the most annoying thing about being a vampire, is the health regeneration. Now, there are ways that you can accelerate this. There's enchantments you can put on jewelry and and I believe there's even some you can put on your armor that will increase your health regeneration. And these can obviously be very useful. The problem with this though is that if you change your armor, if you change your jewelry, you're gonna lose those enchantments. And at Vampirism level 4, that's where it really becomes a problem, because at that point you're taking a 75% reduction to your health regeneration. Vampirism 4 is the maximum level of vampirism. Basically, if you just don't feed ever, you will stay at Vampirism level 4. And this can be a truly devastating thing to have happen. I've been in plenty of fights that I should have come out and won, but I wasn't able to win. Now, right here in the video, you see this is the end of this little dungeon area, and I've only killed 8 out of 10. Now, what I should have done here was actually gone back through and found the ones that I missed, but instead I came back out here to the main sanctuary and ended up having to go right back in to try and find these last 2. And if you remember, you drop off of that little ledge, so you cannot get back up. So if you do this, you have to go back all the way through the dungeon again. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's possible to max out vampirism in this area. I know with the werewolves, whenever you do the werewolf quest, you can actually max it out if you stay in there long enough. The fastest I've heard of people doing it is 30 minutes to get their bite. So that's level 6 in 30 minutes. But you can see at this point, everybody's respawned. So this is how I think you would be able to farm it if it lets you continue to go through it. I don't know if it does or not. Definitely be an interesting way to farm up some extra XP and everything too. But leveling your vampire, especially at low levels, again, it comes down to level, is extremely annoying. Vampire, unlike werewolf, you're always gaining your XP because you're always in vampire form. However, the amount of XP you get in low level quests is actually really low. A low level quest may only give you, say, 40 XP, whereas a higher level quest may grant you 400 XP. And so the higher level quest will help you level your vampirism up much faster than the low level quests, which is why a lot of people like to wait until they're doing those higher level quests so that they can level it more quickly. I don't know how PvP experience is going to work on this. I don't know if you gain vampire experience in there. Right there is the Bat Swarm ultimate. I absolutely love the ultimate. I'm going to be posting up another video here in a couple days going over the different vampire abilities. I am still, even now, at a low level, and this video here was a week ago from the time of this posting. So in 1 week I've only really gone up to vampirism level 3 because I was a level 18. I wasn't getting the XP needed to actually level it up quickly. But it is possible to get it up to level 6 within a week relatively easily, especially if you're a higher level. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot else to vampirism. You know, the drawbacks are significant, but as you can see from the abilities, there are ways to offset them. There are passives that you can use that will help you offset the health regen and things like that, and how much damage you're taking. And, you know, just there's ways that you can counter it, but it works best if you have a friend or if you yourself do enchanting. Strategies with vampirism, obviously with vampirism you're going to be using magicka. So if you're already a sorcerer, you're definitely going to have the benefit. If you're not a sorcerer, then it might be a good idea to start at least getting your destruction staff or your magicka up, just so you can use your vampire abilities a little more often. Particularly Mist Form, that's one that you will really want to use because it does give you a defensive buff. I think you take like 40% less damage, or it might be 60% less damage. I will be covering that in my next video. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that you would absolutely have to know about this. I do apologize about the timing that it took me to get this video out. Like I said, I did this quest a week ago from the time of this upload, and I wanted to put it out. I was ready to put it out, but today is actually my little boy's 4th birthday, so we have been busy all week trying to get things ready for his party, and I got bogged down and completely forgot that I hadn't uploaded this yet, or even put my commentary on it. So I decided to go ahead and do that today. If you saw my last video, anytime within the past 24 hours, I actually put a comment up saying that I had this video coming out today. So I am getting it out, and I am getting my other videos out. I'm also in the process of reviewing the PlanetSide 2 beta, so I've got my plate full as far as gaming. I haven't been able to put as much time into this as I wanted. But other than that, there's not much that I can say. I love the vampirism. One thing that I do have to warn you about, though, is the amount of messages you're going to get just running around Tamriel, doing your quest, exploring, whatever it is you do. You're going to have a lot of people messaging you. Now you can see here, I got a little cocky with this guy and just started attacking. Ended up having to rely on my ultimate just because I wasn't blocking. But this is the end of the quest. You go and you talk to this girl, and that's it. You are a vampire, and you leave the area, and you start leveling it by doing quests. Everything you do that gains XP will gain you levels in vampirism. But that's all the time I have for you today. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.